There comes a time in every life when we stop for a moment and suddenly see things differently. For me, that moment came on an ordinary autumn afternoon, a day that seemed like any other. But what happened that day changed the way I look at time forever. I was sitting in the garden of my childhood home with my mother. The air was cool and crisp, the leaves turning golden and red. My mother smiled gently at me. Her smile was as warm as ever, but I could see in her eyes the quiet weight of the years. She looked both tired and content, as though she carried not just her own life, but the stories of everyone she had loved. We started talking about the past, little things I hadn't thought about in years. She reminded me of the time I fell from my bike and cried until she patched me up. She remembered the long summer evenings when we would sit outside, watching the sky turn orange and purple. As she spoke, I realized how many of those moments I had rushed through, always too busy with something I thought was important. When I was younger, I lived as if time was endless. I chased deadlines, promotions, recognition, always pushing myself to achieve the next thing. I believed that if I worked hard enough, I could earn more time later. Time for family, time for rest, time for love. But that afternoon in the garden, looking at my mother's tired but loving eyes, I knew the truth: we cannot earn more time. We can only spend what we are given. That realization struck me with surprising force. It wasn't sadness exactly, but more like clarity. I understood in that moment that every minute we spend with someone we love is precious. It is not a small thing. It is not something we can ever take back. Time is the most valuable gift we can give, because once given, it cannot be reclaimed. I remembered how often I had postponed simple acts of love. I'll call her tomorrow. I'll visit next month. I'll have dinner with them when work slows down. But sometimes, tomorrow never comes. Work never really slows down, and the people we love do not wait forever. That afternoon, I promised myself something. I promised that I would slow down, that I would stop treating time as something to spend carelessly. Instead, I would treat it like the treasure it is. Since then, I have tried to live differently. I call my old friends more often, sometimes just to say hello. I linger a little longer at the dinner table, listening to stories I've already heard but that still make me smile. I let myself enjoy the quiet moments, the sound of the rain, the laughter of grandchildren, the warmth of a simple meal shared. Growing older has given me the gift of perspective. I see now that the race I once ran was against nothing but myself. No one wins by working the hardest or staying the busiest. The true measure of life is how we spend the time we are given. So I ask you this: when was the moment you realized that time is the most precious gift? Was it while holding your grandchild's tiny hand? Was it when you lost someone dear and wished for just one more conversation? Or was it in a quiet, ordinary moment, like mine, when the truth simply became impossible to ignore? Whatever it was, I hope you carry that lesson with you. Because when we choose to give our time to the people we love, we are giving them the very best part of ourselves. And in the end, those shared hours, those conversations, those small and ordinary moments, those are what remain. Not the promotions, not the bank accounts, but the laughter, the hugs, and the time we gave freely. So today, don't wait. Call that friend, write that letter. Sit quietly with someone you love. Give them your time, because it is the most precious gift you have to give.